All right, I'm excited to announce our next guest speaker. She is a personal inspiration of mine. She's always been very adamant about advocating for the youth in Japantown as well as across the nation. And what I admire most about this next guest speaker is that she's continuing to honor her family and her father's legacy so well with the Korematsu Institute. With that, I would love to introduce the Executive Director, Korematsu.
Good evening. This is going to be a hard act to follow, but I'll try, and I'm so glad that so many of you are here because this is a very important time in the history of our country, needless to say, very challenging. On June 26th, just a little over a month ago, the Supreme Court traded one injustice for another. They upheld the travel ban and in the same breath overruled my father's Supreme Court case of Korematsu versus United States and marginalized another group of people and marginalized the Muslims all over the world. My father would have been so upset, sad, and disgusted because he fought the rest of his life to uphold people's civil rights and civil liberties and human rights. And we now have to carry on with that work. It's up to us to speak up and to band together in solidarity to fight these injustices. Families need to be put back together. It's wrong to separate families. They did that in 1942, and they've done that now, and we have to say no. Just keep saying no. We have so much work to do, and obviously we cannot trust our executive branch or judicial, so we now have to go after the legislative to change Congress and remember to vote. Voting makes a difference. All of us makes a difference, and we need to be sure that people are registered and to make sure our voices are heard. We can make a difference. Korematsu was one man who made a difference in the face of adversity, and so can you. He was always very supportive of the youth here. This is our future of our country. We need to set an example of solidarity to cross communities and get out of our silos, because that's how we're going to make change. I really uphold you to take what you've learned here this evening and be like pebbles in the pond and share what you've learned. Share your stories, share other people's stories so that they can learn to respect each other and not be afraid of our differences. We should appreciate each other's differences. We need to keep fighting. I was so disappointed when I heard that the Supreme Court had overruled my father's Supreme Court case in that manner. At first I was stunned, then I was sad, especially for my father, then I was outraged, and now I'm fighting mad. And I want everybody to be fighting mad. So if my father were here, he would say to you to remember to stand up for what is right and don't be afraid to speak up. Thank you.